Man, are you still working out? It's like 1,000 degrees.
Intense heat is nothing. To get an intense workout, you gotta be intense.
Our friend here is getting an intense workout with the intense cool of his Hydrotech Cool Breeze shoes, which brings your feet a cooling sensation that is the best on the market today. Can only be explained with one word.
Intense!
Whether you're working out hard or just taking a stroll, these shoes have got your back, or I should say, your feet.
Aren't these shoes intense?
Maybe a little too intense, but there's no doubt they're cool.
Hey everybody, welcome back here to the X-Bomb Sports Live Show. My name is Andrew Valentin, and we're brought to you here live from Lombard, Illinois' glorious campus of the Illinois Media School. I hope you all are enjoying yourself today on this beautiful Wednesday, although it's pretty hot and humid here in Illinois. Unfortunately, Tyler can't be with us. He's currently climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. Jake is nursing an ankle injury that he suffered during the Oakland Raiders-Denver Broncos games when he was celebrating or crying over the fact that he won or lost in fantasy football. And, of course, Tom is trying new food right now. He's actually eating Chinese food, if you can believe that. So, obviously, with everybody being so busy, I'm going to be up here by myself. But I'm not by myself, of course. Tom McKitty producing as he's chowing down on food. So, Tom, how you doing? You want to yell how you doing real quick? Yeah, he says this is fun. Apologies for that little technical hiccup. Unfortunately, we just don't seem to know, or I just don't seem to know, I guess I have to say, how to plug things in all the way and double check. So apologies for that. But we're here, ladies and gentlemen, and we got a fun one for you guys today. We got a lot of NFL stuff we got to cover, I know. With football being back, some of you guys might be like, God, here we go again. But ladies and gentlemen, with football being back, we got to talk about some of the stuff that's going on, and we got a lot of things to roll on. So I hope you guys are ready, because we're about to get it started, and we're going to kick this one off. Antonio Brown. We've been talking about him now for, what, 2-3 weeks, it feels like? I mean, this saga has been continuing on. Well, of course, Antonio Brown did exactly, Tyler predicted it. A lot of people were predicting it. It was something that was even voiced before the trade even happened going to Oakland, right? Antonio Brown has officially become a New England Patriot. Antonio Brown signed a $15 million deal, $10 million guaranteed, to play with the New England Patriots. He did not play in Week 1. He had to sit out, unfortunately, because he missed I believe it's the 4:30 deadline that you have to make to be on a team in order to be able to play. So we did not get to see him in Week 1, but obviously we did get to see something from the Patriots. And if it does happen where he actually plays, boy, oh boy, is this thing going to get real nasty real quick. Now, obviously, the whole saga for Antonio Brown, this has been huge, right? I mean, we're looking at that whole situation. We're saying to ourselves, man, something's up with this guy, right? Something's got to be wrong. I mean, it definitely seems like he just wanted out. I mean, we talked about this on Saturday. I've said it a number of times. He clearly wanted to get out of Oakland. He clearly did not want to be there. Nobody wanted, everybody thought he was going to be good in Oakland, but then obviously he did not want to be a part of that whole situation. And now he has forced his way out. I always believed that was the case. The whole helmet issue for me was the selling point, and it proves it. He's now a New England Patriot. He's where he always wanted to be. People said, well, it's about the money. Well, it seems like he wants to just win a championship, but he went about it the wrong way. I said it before. I know the other guys aren't here to express and can't express their opinions because due to technological deficiencies right now that we're having at the moment that are limiting us to being able to have the booth and everybody else be able to talk. But from the helmet issue, it just shows he never wanted to be there. I think that's just, of course, he didn't want to be there. But now being a New England Patriot, he's happy. He's happy. He's buying in, right? He is buying in. But, of course, Antonio Brown doesn't come without a little bit of controversy because now some big stuff broke yesterday. And once again, we're having to deal with another athlete because if you haven't heard, Antonio Brown has been accused of sexual assault. A lawsuit has been filed coming from a former trainer by the name of Brittany Taylor, who is accusing that the wide receiver apparently had assaulted her 3 times, 3 separate occasions, in 2017 and 2018. Now, and all of this mounts has mounted up now to a point where we're looking at this thing saying, Jesus, what is going on, right? I mean, obviously, we don't know all the details yet, so it's something where we're kind of sitting here having to say innocent until proven guilty. I mean, that's the whole situation here. But this does not bode well for a man like Antonio Brown, right? I mean, this in no way is going to help his factor at all. I mean, the whole Oakland situation, the whole Pittsburgh Steeler drama, all of that has been piled on, and now this coming out when he's gone to the New England Patriots, it's just, I'm having trouble wrapping my mind around this. I mean, I said it on Saturday, it's hard to write a script like this. Hollywood can't come close. And like I said, this is an innocent until proven guilty, but man, if this is true, which I believe I saw one article that said that the trainer had apparently taken a lie detector test and she was clear. So if that's the case, then man, we've got some. This is gonna blow up. This is going to get super ugly real fast for this guy. I mean, it already has, but now we're taking this to a next level, right? Antonio Brown's already not liked by a lot of people. With all the Steelers drama, with all the Raiders drama, he's already made enemies. This is just, not only is it disgusting, not only is it depravative, it's so many things. But now you've just made an enemy of everybody. Right? I mean, we've had this happen in the NFL too many times. We've heard this story too many times already. And sometimes it's proven these guys are innocent. Sometimes these guys are not that innocent. But, man, if this is true, man, Antonio Brown's career, I don't know what to say. I mean, I'm already questioning if he's going to be that good of a player if he actually plays for the Patriots. I don't know. I mean, now that question comes up, does he play for New England? Because now the NFL is going to investigate, they said, and they're going to give serious consideration to putting him on what is called the Commissioner's Exempt List. And that means that he will be paid. He will be paid like an NFL player. He will be paid week to week his balance, but he will not be eligible for practice or games until everything has concluded. He did practice today. Yes, he practiced today. So he's not on the exempt list yet, but they are taking serious consideration to putting him on the exempt list. So he's already practiced. It already looks like he's getting ready for the next week with the Patriots, right? So the idea is that he's going to play. But this whole situation now blows everything up. The Patriots have already put out a statement. They said they are well aware of the civil lawsuit. They understand the situation. They are making sure. Yes, he is, and he is official countersued this. I'm not sure the full details on the countersuit, but basically he's making sure that his innocence is clear on that. And this could be again, he could be innocent of this. This could be something completely different. But it certainly doesn't bode well, and it just makes more enemies for Antonio Brown. Although I'm sure at this point he doesn't care, right? I mean, now this is just my personal feeling on it, my personal opinion on it. But to me, this just feels like, for Antonio Brown, he is the guy who's kind of like, look, I'm getting mine, and what's mine, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because we all have to look out for ourselves in some way, right? You are your most important self that you really should care about. But it just feels like Antonio Brown's just somebody who kind of like, he discounts everybody around him, right? All the success I had was because of what I did. Right? No love to Ben Roethlisberger. No love to the offensive line for protecting the quarterback. No love to the other wide receivers for maybe getting him in mismatches. No, it's all him. I just can't jump on that ship with him, man. He's just made it tough. And if this comes out as true, he is the enemy of the state at this point. He's the enemy of the country. I mean, he's already probably one of the most hated players, I guarantee you, he's already going to be voted as one of the most hated players in the NFL. Maybe, or maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I feel like he's like going in that direction. This whole situation, and look, I hate the fact that we talk about this so much, right, with Antonio Brown. But obviously, being a sport, well, no, I don't. Like this is, I said it on Saturday. This is like Christmas in September because it makes our job easy. It makes our job easy because it gives us something to talk about. Certainly, it's very easy to then say, well, we're just going to talk about Antonio Brown, but at the same time, I understand where Tom comes with a lot of this stuff because I get sick and tired of talking about it. I know we're gonna have to keep talking about it. Yes, do I enjoy talking about certain subjects like this? Yes, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, man, how many times are we gonna have to keep coming back to Antonio Brown, right? Obviously, he's the biggest story out there in the NFL right now. Obviously, this is a big situation. Obviously, this is a very serious situation. I don't know if this is the end of his career or not, but outside of what this whole sexual assault civil lawsuit thing is, him as a player being with the Patriots, if he does play, I mean, I'm just going to be honest. I think he'll play well. I don't think he'll be outstanding. I know what we saw Brady do in week 1 says, well, if Antonio Brown's out there, it's all over, right? All bets are off, okay? That's what everybody's saying. You even got Gronk, giving the eyes, and on Instagram, kind of being like, or Twitter, I believe it was, with that little cryptic message where people are like, is he coming back? Is he coming back? I don't think he's coming back, but it does look like it could bode well for the Patriots, but to me, he's just one of those guys that he can say he's going to buy into the Patriot way, but as soon as things do not go his way, because remember, how do the Patriots operate? Tom likes to spread the ball around, right? Philip Dorsett looked really good last night, right? Those wide receivers, they all looked really good last night because Tom makes them look really good. You're welcome, Tom. But obviously, but throughout his career, has he, outside of Randy Moss, has he ever had a go-to guy? Maybe Wes Welker, right? Julian Edelman has kind of been. Gronkowski was a little bit here and there. But for the most part, he does like to spread the ball around a little bit. And Antonio Brown, if he's not, he's never been a, 100-plus catch kind of guy. He's a big playmaker. He catches like 75 balls, but he always gets big yardage and stuff like that. But I think he'll have a good season. I think he'll do decent. I just don't know if he'll do well enough to be satisfied. And I agree with what I've heard some people say. This could be like what we've seen with Darrelle Revis and maybe even Aqib Talib, I think it was, or something like that, where it's a 1-year rental, and then they're just like, okay, thanks, bye. Go to your next team. No, we were good. You got us another Super Bowl. Okay, we're happy, but we're going to move on from you because you cost a lot of money and you probably caused us a couple headaches along the way, right? So, I don't know. To me, all this Antonio Brown nonsense, I mean, look, for this part, it's great. But in the overall sense of my own sanity, I'm hoping this stuff just kind of ends. Because, man, I just hate the fact that he's dominating all the headlines. I really am. I really, or not hate, I dislike the fact that he is getting a lot of the attention on it. It's just kind of driving me a little nutty. That's all I'm saying. But hopefully this Antonio Brown situation, hopefully this isn't true, right? For Brittany Taylor's sake, not for his sake. Forget his sake. I don't care about Antonio Brown. For her sake, I really hope this isn't true. But if this is true, then I hope she gets the justice that she deserves. And I hope Antonio Brown pays whatever, not money-wise, but I hope he pays in some way, shape, or form the punishment for what he's done. If he has done this. Obviously, with more deals, once more details come out, we'll talk about it. But for the time being, I think we'll kind of take a little break away from Antonio Brown unless something huge actually happens. So, and that's where I'm going to stick with this because I know Tom back there is probably tired of hearing about Antonio Brown. I know Tyler and Jake probably aren't, but I know I'm getting a little worn down on it. So So let's just move away from Antonio Brown, shall we? But you guys can comment down below. Let us know what you think about the Antonio Brown situation. Do you think he'll be on the exempt list? Do you guys think that he's innocent or guilty? I mean, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about the Antonio Brown situation. All right, so moving away from there, we had, we talked about this a little bit on Saturday, but we had the Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears for their first game. I know Tom back there is probably itching to throw out his points. I know he was definitely blowing up social media back there, and I really wanted to get him on to kind of talk this stuff. And trust me, when you get back, dude, we will definitely. I'll give you the time to talk about that, and certainly Denver when we get you back on the mic. But I will say this again for everybody out there: what we saw from Week 1, don't get terrified of it. But there is a level of concern that should be there, right? I mean, it is Week 1. It's one game, but we have to remember a 16-game week schedule or 17-week schedule, 16 games in the season. One game can sometimes be the difference. I mean, if they go 15-1, right? They've done this for 7 straight years now. 7 straight years they've never won the home opener. Or the first game of the week, I should say. They've never won the first game of the week for 7 straight years. Now, that doesn't look good in the grand scheme of things, but it's not the end of the world. But what does worry me some, again, is, the way that we kind of saw Trubisky play. He made some decent throws. Again, he made some. He made. Yeah. Yeah, no, the 1st and 40 was very ugly, yeah. Right, the offensive pass interference. Which one? The one where they said that he pushed off? He did push off. We're talking about the one where Taylor Gabriel pushed off and made the grab over the cornerback. He pushed off on that one. Yeah, but not that far down the field, though. That's offensive pass interference. This is why I wish we could get a mic back there. I understand what you're saying, but still, look, they shouldn't have been in that situation in the first place. First off, Matt Nagy with the play calling. Again, we like I said, we talked about this a little bit on Saturday, but to expand more, you have 3 really talented running backs. 2 of them are very powerful, mind you. David Montgomery showed his power, and so did Mike Davis. And yet you underutilize them, 11 carries between all 3 of them, and then you add on what Trubisky did, and you can't have your quarterback running the way he did. I'm sorry. Trubisky, the thing that, Trubisky, again, what he shows us, what he's showing me right now, at least from my point of view, he's trying to do a lot of things like Aaron Rodgers does. Aaron Rodgers is what you would call like an ad-lib quarterback, right? Very similar to Brett Favre, Dan Marino, John Elway, quarterbacks who kind of like make things up on the fly. They kind of do things a little bit, they wing it, right? And that can work sometimes, but in the long scheme of things, where does that get you? Like Jared Goff gets labeled a system quarterback, right? System quarterbacks tend to kind of get bashed a little bit because they think that's a term of endearment where they say, oh, system quarterback, all that means is that, the head coach is really good, they give you a good scheme, and you got a really good team around you, so how good are you as a quarterback? Well, got to say, Joe Montana was a system quarterback, Tom Brady's a system quarterback, and between the 2 of those guys, you got 10 Super Bowls. You throw Peyton Manning in there, you got 12. You throw Drew Brees in there, that's 13 for those 4. And those are 3, I think, of the best system quarterbacks you could find in the NFL, in NFL history. You got 4 ad-lib quarterbacks who I think have only won, 4 Super Bowls, really. John Elway has 2, Dan Marino has none. Favre has 1, and then you've got Rodgers with 1. So really, how good is... how good is it to be an ad-lib quarterback? It's not. And for Trubisky, he's trying to do a lot of ad-libbing. He's trying to wing a lot of stuff. It's not all his fault, I'll say that. Again, the play calling needs to be simpler for him. Crossing routes, right? Drags, slants, simple stuff. He can make those throws. Move the ball down the field little by little. You don't always have to go for the home run ball. You don't have to fake it off and try and run veer, right? You don't have to try and flip it to Taylor Gabriel, behind you and stuff, run statue. You don't have to get all fancy all the time. I know they didn't run a lot of those plays, but the times they did, 1 out of the 7, 1 out of the 8 or whatever they ran, worked. Don't get me wrong, he made some really good throws. Especially in that last drive, he made some really good throws. But again, like 35% of his throws were coming off his back foot. And if you haven't played quarterback or if you don't know how this works, you step into your throw, that ball's going on a straight line, more of a straight line, right? It'll have an arc, but it'll have less of an arc than if you go off your back foot and you're gunning it out there, right? You throw off your back foot, the ball goes up in the air, nose first, comes down, nose first, easier to get intercepted. Throw it on a straight line, all of a sudden, you're able to hit your wide receiver real easy on the point, and he had some of those throws, but he also threw off his back foot just way too much. Other thing is, he didn't look off the defense. He didn't read the linebackers sometimes. He didn't look off the safeties. He stared down his wide receivers. Now, granted, too, again, a lot of that was not his fault. The offensive line did not do their job. Cody Whitehair whiffed on blocks. James Daniels didn't block his guy. Bobby Massey could not set the edge to save his life against Zadarius Smith, and that is a problem. Yeah, Tom, what do you got? Want to appeal the NFL referees? They did. They missed a lot of calls. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Khalil Mack was matched up with Bakhtiari, and I thought Bakhtiari did a good job, but I also saw some of the same stuff you were seeing because even when Bulaga was on him, Bulaga I thought was holding him a lot more, right? I thought Bulaga was holding him a lot more. I thought Bakhtiari did a good job blocking him, but that's the thing is that the refs, for some reason, and that's the other thing, the penalties were way too high. They were way too high. You've got 10-plus penalties. We're talking about, I think there was, 25 in total between Bears and Packers? Right, yeah. That went to that 1st and 40. That was ridiculous. And then, and there's never, I don't think they said the Bears have never had a 1st and 40 ever in the history of the NFL. And for the first game. Like that's unheard of. This Bears team defensively, top 5 in the league. Top 5 in the league, certainly. They showed their stuff, right? Roy Robinson Harris looked really good. Leonard Floyd, he looked good. I think he benefited a lot from the times that Khalil Mack had come through and been able to kind of get there and been able to put pressure on the quarterback. Obviously, he didn't get a sack, but because of his ability to kind of beat the offensive lineman from time to time, I think it helped with getting Leonard Floyd open to be able to make plays. I mean, the defense made good, but they also made their share of mistakes too. They had open opportunities where they could have easily been covering somebody, right? The Jimmy Graham touchdown situation probably could have been defended, but obviously it's hard because Jimmy Graham's 6'6", and he's still decent. But offensively, offensive line needs to make huge improvements, needs to make huge strides. Quarterback-wise, Trubisky's got to get better at making those straight line throws, right? Got to get better at making those straight line throws. Running back-wise, you have to start letting Run DMC do their thing. Get Montgomery in there. Let him run the ball. Get him more carries. Get him more touches. Allow Mike Davis to be your short yardage back. Get Tariq Cohen a few runs in there too, because the thing is, Montgomery and Davis, they're pretty quick, but they don't have the speed that Cohen has. You put Cohen back there, that's speed coming out of the backfield, and you need something like that there to kind of help counterbalance things out. This team should have been a lot better. This team should have been able to at least put up 17, 20 points easily. Now, again, though, the Packers did not play well either. Rodgers threw some really bad passes himself. He ad-libbed a lot. He had his moments here and there where he made some plays, but he didn't play well either. The offensive line did their job, but every now and then they broke down. Aaron Jones, I'm still contended that guy is not that good of a running back. I'm still contended he's not that good of a running back. I don't trust him to be a franchise running back. Granted, he's not, Austin. Is he similar to Austin Eckler in a sense? But I just don't see the similarities in that. I think it's difficult to see. I think it's difficult. But the Packers, honestly, and then the receiving wise too. Devontae Adams, I don't know. He did halfway. He did average, right? Marquez Starling, I didn't really think he did too well. What's that? They did. They did not look good. Neither team looked good. I will say that. Defensively, both of them. Right. Probably. Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll say this. I'm glad Eddie Pinheiro hit that field goal. I mean, you probably saw it. Everybody saw it when he hit that field goal. That place went ballistic. They went crazy for Eddie. He was hero. Chris Collinsworth, yeah. I will say this: if you look directly at it, it does curve, but in no way was it hooking out. It was not hooking out. It was going in. Yeah, it was. Yeah, true. But no, it was hooking, but it wasn't. It was like going out and then coming in. It wasn't going like out of the field goal. There was no way. Right. Exactly. He True. Yeah, the Thursday nights are always bad. Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Honestly, Denver, Oakland probably would have been. I mean, this is the problem though, is that this Thursday game, Thursdays, like Tom said, Thursdays are always tough. And while I understand the Bears and the Packers, right, division rivals, obviously, 198 meetings, longest rivalry in NFL history. Of course, the ratings you're going to say are going to be high. Everybody was watching that game. A lot of people were watching that game, I should say. Yeah. No. Monday night would have been good. I think Monday night would have probably been the better suit for them, with like Patriots Steelers being like Thursday, Oakland. Yeah. I mean, it would have. I think people really watched it, especially because of the whole AB thing. But right. Right, yeah, and that's the thing is, yeah. So Tom's saying, it would have been interesting if with the whole AB situation, we got to get a mic. We got to get these speakers up. I swear we're gonna do it. I know there's the positive silence because Tom's talking to me through the thing. So, but no, but you're right. I mean, the whole scheduling for this first week. I mean, I liked the fact that the Bears and the Packers were kicking it off. It's just the Thursday was kind of like. I was kind of on edge with that. I was like uneven. I'm like, okay, I'm glad it's a matchup, but to start off the season on a Thursday night with Bears Packers, I don't know how to feel on it. Yeah. Right, yeah. Now you have to go to the Mile High and try and play in that stadium. Right. And this is going to probably be it's already being talked about as one of the more interesting matchups because it's. Well, yeah, we're not getting the prime time, but we're getting a lot of the talk is really because it's Nagy versus Fangio. You know, it's the two guys who everybody was saying these guys seem like they're really cool with each other, and now both are head coaches, and now they're going to match off in week 2, and we're going to see who's the better. I mean, both of them lost, so now it's a chance to kind of see, well, who's actually better than who. So, I mean, look, this whole first game, it showed us some stuff. The improvements need to be made, certainly on offense. Defensively, I feel like things are looking fine. I'm predicting another defensive matchup for the Broncos and the Bears. I think they'll come out with like a good 10-point win out of this. I'm hoping at least for the Bears. But again, it's going to come down to get that running game going, because we're going to talk about these games in a little bit. But from what we saw from Monday night, Oakland and Oakland versus Denver, Oakland ran the ball pretty well. And if you can get the running backs going, you know, I mean, and David Montgomery, I think, is either on the same level, if not, might be better than Josh Jacobs. I don't know, but I'm just saying he could be there. Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. Mike Davis is your third down guy. Right. That's how I thought they would play it. Instead, they switched off the backs, but they only used them. They only used him in the passing game. He caught 8 passes for 49 yards, which is great. It was great. He was clutch in that last drive, but you have got to, I feel like you've got to get him in the backfield for the speed, because while Montgomery is fast and quick, he's not as fast as Cohen. Davis doesn't have that blazing speed, but Montgomery and Davis have that power. So you've got to get the running game going. You've got to get that speed and power together. If you're going to run 3 running backs, you've got to be able to utilize them in tandem. You've got to be able to find the situations to utilize them in. So, I mean, I say for this week 2 matchup, I'm saying right now early, Bears 23 with Broncos being 13. I think they can come out with a 10-point win. Tom, what do you say? I'll give it out to you. All right, Tom says Bears 20 and Broncos 7. So, I think they can win this one. Because remember, while Fangio may know Nagy also knows Fangio. And I know Fangio's really good with his little stunts and stuff, but let's remember, he's doing a lot of the same things with some of the very similar players. Von Miller is very similar to Khalil Mack in many ways, right? They're not too far off. And Danny Trevathan knows that defense too. He was a former Bronco. So we've got some advantages here too. It's going to be an interesting matchup. Exactly. Exactly. And they stuff the run. And while I like Phillip Lindsay, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a battle. I'm interested to see how this goes. So you guys can let us know what you guys think down below. Comment down below what you guys think about it. Do you think the Bears are going to be able to pull off the victory in Denver? That's right, yes. They signed a new tight end. I'm not sure who exactly it was. I know they signed a new player. I know that they're hoping that Trey Burton's going to be back very, very soon, because obviously with him being gone, that's another receiving option that, you're missing. I mean, Adam Shaheen, I still trust in him, but I'm also concerned with him because he's kind of almost on the level of Hunter Henry, where it seems like he's always getting hurt. What's up? Yes, he did get hurt, and I think he's out for the season now. But that's my concern with Shaheen, is like every year he always seems to find a way to get hurt. And a big tight end like him should not be getting hurt as much, I feel. And then when he does, it sucks, because I think he would be a really good red zone piece if you could just get him to be 100% healthy. But you guys can comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about the whole Bears situation. Do you think that they can finally get this one going? What did you think about the Bears-Packers game? Again, comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, to move into the next one, we've got ourselves, obviously, week 1 away from the Bears. We had a lot of matchups. We had a lot of matchups here. So week 1, we went through all these, so we're just going to do the Sunday and Monday review of what happened, go through the scores, kind of talk about the games in real quick succession. We might dive a little bit into these. I know Tom's gonna have something to say on the first one, I'm sure, but we're gonna pour through these very fast. So, Tom, you ready back there? Let's do this. All right, first game was Tennessee versus Cleveland. Tennessee won 43-13. He's got his weapons. He got his weapons, but he did, but he had some ugly moments. He made some very bad throws. Yes. Yes, Marcus Mariota did. I mean, you guys can see right there, 248 yards, 3 touchdowns, which one of them was that big throw to Derrick Henry, which first off, I know Derrick Henry was fast. I did not realize how quick he could actually be in that open field. Oh, my God. He was breaking away from dudes. I mean, that was a game. That was a real game. Right, yeah. Yeah, Tom's saying that they could be a legit playoff, and this proves it. And when you think about it, Andrew Luck being gone, Mariota does have his weapons now, and he used all of them. A.J. Brown had 3 catches for 100 yards. He looked fantastic. Adam Humphries, he converted, I think, like 4 or 5 first downs. And Delaney Walker caught up 1 touchdown pass, and he looked really good. He doesn't look like he's hurt at all. So, maybe Tom might be right. Maybe Tennessee is on their way to the playoffs. Maybe they could even win the division. It's possible. I mean, we saw, yeah. So you're talking about the Colts, who lost to the Chargers by, we're going to talk about that, but the Colts lost. Texans lost, obviously, by a heartbreaker. And then you've got Jacksonville, who got destroyed. Although, and now they're starting quarterbacks out, too, although their backup, I think, looks better. But honestly, Tennessee right now has I would say, second best, if not maybe the best defense possibly in the AFC South, and it shows because look at all the interceptions they got off of Mayfield. Now look, Mayfield made some bad throws. Yeah. It's a lot for a game, though, let's be honest. Now, granted, one of them was a tipped pass that went to Malcolm Butler, and it got returned for a pick 6, so I won't count that one too hard against him because that was a tip. But the other 2, he threw it just right to the guy. That was the problem with those. Yeah. Yeah, I think, well, here's the thing. I'm not blaming Mayfield, by the way. I mean, those throws, I will say, okay, maybe he shouldn't have thrown those, but he is still young, and he's still learning. I blame all this, really, on Kitchens, because Kitchens was calling the plays. I still don't trust that guy as a head coach, and I think this showed it. You mean Greg Williams? I don't know why. I don't understand why Greg Williams. Well, here's the thing. I think Greg Williams gets blackballed because he was a part of that whole scandal in the whole, hitting the quarterback, Sackgate or whatever it was with the Saints. So he gets blackballed for that, I think, for being a head coach. But yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It wasn't a good showing. I'm not blaming Mayfield, really. I'm blaming Kitchens for this. And this is where rookie head coach, who's never had an offensive coordinator job except for last year as an interim, maybe not the best decision. But overall, got to say, Titans, Mike Vrabel, you're off to a great start, man. You could break the Belichick curse. You could break the Belichick curse. No more bad coordinator for Belichick, right? Vrabel could be it. Who knows? He wins a Super Bowl? Oh, man. Hey, he's a toast of town. All right, next game. So we've got after Tennessee and Cleveland, Baltimore and Miami. Onslaught. Kid, Lamar Jackson, he can sling it. And we knew he could sling it. Not bad for, yeah, that was his quote. That was his quote at the press conference. Not bad for a running back. You're damn right, not bad for a running back. 7 for 20. Seriously, that kid can play. I mean, he is Baltimore. They could be. They could be. I mean, look, if he performs like look, this is obviously Dolphins, right? They're not good. They're missing a lot. From what we heard, the whole. Yeah, for real. Jeez, I don't even know who picked up. Did anybody in our league pick up Lamar Jackson for the bragging rights? I don't think anybody did. I don't think anybody had him for the bragging rights fantasy football that we're doing. All right, cool. No, look, Marquise Brown. Look, Antonio Brown, hey, you're 31 years old. Your time is up. Your cousin Marquise, Hollywood Brown, kid is killing it. Tyler did? He didn't play him, though, did he? I'm curious on that one. I'm curious. If he didn't, he must have been kicking himself in the butt. If he did, dang, I had 251 points. That's pretty good. Did he start him? Okay. No, but I mean, this game was an onslaught. Now, Ryan Fitzpatrick, unfortunately, they got. Jeez, yeah, there you go, yeah. Yeah, props to you, Tyler, man. I give it to you with good old Lamar Jackson, man. I'm telling you, not bad. Like you said, not bad for a running back. Yeah, you're right, not bad for a running back. If he stays on this pace, Baltimore's looking dirty. Meanwhile, Miami, hey. Fitzpatrick, I'll give him credit. He hung in there. He took some shots, too. Yeah, he took some shots. He threw an interception, but he threw a touchdown, and he looked like they might be in the game. But, man, he took some hits, but he stayed in there, and he fought hard. So, you think so? Yeah. Yeah, I will say right now, if he doesn't get hurt, because if he takes more hits like that, I think he will get hurt. But I will say that if they don't at least get like 3 or 4 wins by week 8, he's out. They'll put Rosen in, and they'll see what that kid can do. So, but overall, I got to say, man, Baltimore, they could be back. They could be back. Yeah, they could definitely be back. So next game we got Atlanta against Minnesota. Minnesota won it 28-12. Look, Atlanta, it was tough, man. That defense does not look like it exists right now. I mean, Matt Ryan did a decent job, but he threw the 2 interceptions. I mean, yeah, I know. But here's the thing that concerns me, not with Atlanta, because Atlanta, I feel like you're going to win a lot of your games on your offense, obviously. Matt Ryan's going to have to outthrow the world, outscore everybody. I'm sure they're going to string together 9 wins or something like that from that. Yeah, my concern, though, was the Minnesota game. Did you see the stats for Kirk Cousins? He only threw the ball 10 times. He only had 98 yards. That's it. And he only threw 1 touchdown. That is your $90 million franchise quarterback. No, but that you can't. I mean, I know Dalvin Cook was running well, but let's be honest. Yeah, that's true. The coach could have called more passes for him. It just feels like. Yeah. Well, it's just like I'm wondering now. Like, is he hurt? It brings concern for me because if Cousins isn't throwing the ball 30, because he was averaging like 40 throws last year, where he threw for 4,000 yards. He had 30 touchdowns, and then this one, I think he did. I think he played a little bit. I don't think he played a lot though. Maybe it felt odd, because we saw them so much last year throw the ball, and now feels like they're going back to the way it was with Adrian Peterson. But you don't think they're going to make the playoffs? I think they could be sneaky good, but again, Kirk Cousins has trouble performing in big games. Monday Night Football, he struggles every time. He can't perform under the lights. Yeah, Tom says Bears and Packers is what it's going to come down to. I'll say I think Minnesota, if they don't start getting the yes, it's gonna come down. This week is gonna be a telling story. But yeah, kudos to Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, man, kid looks like he hasn't gotten hurt once yet. He looks like he's on a tear to run. All right, next game. We've got this one was Buffalo and Jets. I liked this game. I actually watched this game. I liked the way Darnold looked. Josh Allen, I didn't like the 2 interception throws. I thought those were very dumb throws. But his touchdown pass was solid. His touchdown pass to John Brown, that thing was a beeline. And Darnold has Demaryius Thomas, but yeah. But no, yeah, Sam Darnold now with Demaryius Thomas, he's slowed down a little bit, but you've got a veteran wide receiver who's probably going to play the slot. Yeah, who's played in a Super Bowl, mind you, who's played with a bunch of different quarterbacks. Sam Darnold's probably going to have a field day with him now, being able to dump the ball off in quick short yardage. He's a big wide receiver too at 6'3", 230. No, they're not, but they could easily go 9-7, 8-8, maybe. Maybe. I mean, Sam Darnold looks like he's getting better. Josh Allen, again, those 2 throws, very dumb, but that touchdown was a beeline. I just think the Bills definitely need it. They're, again, like the Bears. They got to get that run game going a little bit more. I want to see both of these teams succeed, but I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah. Buffalo's one of those where it's kind of like you feel almost sorry for them in a way. Yeah, it is. Like you're kind of like, okay, let's get good. Let's finally get this team good. But no, honestly, congrats to the Bills. It's a 1-point victory, but it's a victory well earned. All right, Washington and Philadelphia is next, man. And whoo, boy. First off, Case Keenum, you can't just decide to not turn it on and then all of a sudden turn it on. You're like, I don't understand it, man. He played really well. Carson Wentz, he did what he did best. And Deshaun Jackson, did he even lose a step? Is he even 30? He might be 25. Why didn't they play who? Because Case Keenum's been named the starting quarterback. And I don't think they're going to play Haskins until either Keenum gets hurt or until they're down in the season and they're like, okay, we've only got 3-4 wins. Let's see what the kid can do. You know what I mean? They'll play him in the last 3-4 games when it doesn't mean enough. I think it is too. I think they should have started the kid because he looked good in preseason. But obviously, it shows Case Keenum, man. 3 touchdowns. 30 for 44. He looked good. Got to give him some credit. But time will tell. Obviously, it's first game. But against the Eagles, give him props. All right, next game we've got Los Angeles Rams against the Carolina Panthers. Yes, Tom really put up some points with McCaffrey. McCaffrey ran for 128 yards, caught 10 passes for 80 yards as well, scored 2 rushing touchdowns. That kid might be, look, next to Saquon Barkley, they may be 1A, 1B as far as the best running backs in the NFL. They might be the best players in the NFL. I don't know. Maybe. I will give you props, though. McCaffrey as your number 2 pick was a smart move because, man, that kid. I'm just saying, you had other players you could have gone with, but, yeah, I know. No, I know. But. Man, that kid has some flair to him. Now, Cam Newton, you got to throw some long balls, baby. I know for Tom's sake, he probably wants you to always go to McCaffrey. But, man, you got to get – yeah, yeah. But he's got to get that vertical game going. I just don't know if Cam's – I don't know how much he's got left in him as a star quarterback. I really don't. He might need to move on from Carolina. Oakland's looking for a new quarterback. Jacksonville, that's interesting. Well, who knows? We saw Jacksonville might have the future there. We don't know. I'm not talking about Nick Foles. We're talking about that other kid, but it's possible. Buffalo. If Josh Allen doesn't work out, Buffalo could be a place. I don't know. Miami might be a perfect situation. Who knows? But he's definitely got his. He's what? What did you say? Tampa, Tampa definitely needs a quarterback. Yes, Tampa will definitely need a quarterback. No, the Rams, what can I say? Jared Goff didn't look good in this first game. I couldn't really give him the player of the game on this one, but I got to say, I think they'll be fine. I mean, that defense still looks solid. So, I mean, props to the Rams for being able to itch one out. But I think you got to put up more points than that. And Cam's got to play a lot better than that. So, moving on from there, Kansas City and Jacksonville. Kansas City pulled out a huge victory against the Jacksonville Jaguars, 40 to 27, or what it was. Yeah, 40 to 26. Excuse me. I would have put Patrick Mahomes up there because obviously he was phenomenal. 25 for 33, 378 yards. What's up? No, I'm hurt because I put so I have Sammy Watkins on my fantasy team, who was a late pickup for me, by the way, and he explodes in the first week for 9 catches, 198 yards, and 3 touchdowns. I was very mad that he was sitting on my bench, but by the way, this also shows that this guy can still play hard. He can still do it. I mean, granted, he's got Mahomes who can sling it, and I think that kid is a whole new different monster in the NFL. He is something that we are going to start seeing, I think, a lot more in the NFL. But you never know, man. You never know. You never know. This might be a year. This might be a year. This might be a year. We'll see when we get there, though. We'll see when we get there. But this kid, Gardner Minshew, from Washington State, I liked him last year. He threw for a lot of yards, and he looked really good. He came in relief. Obviously, if you didn't hear, Nick Foles, broken collarbone, could potentially be out. Well, excuse me, not broken collarbone. What was it? Broken clavicle. Thank you. Excuse me. Yes, the NFL often says collarbone for that. It's actually a clavicle. It's a different part. But Gardner Minshew. Yeah. Right, yes. Yes, exactly. Dr. McKinney in the house, ladies and gentlemen, making sure we all know where it's at. We're going to get you a lab coat, by the way, one of these days. But 22 for 25, threw for 200-plus yards, had an interception, but threw two really good touchdowns. Again, D.D. Westbrook sitting on my bench, scored a TD. That made me mad. But, he looks good. Yes, yeah. Oh, sorry, dude. But no, this kid, honestly, for a backup quarterback, if that's the future for Jacksonville, there could be something there. He's a good quarterback. Give him a chance. Let's see what he can do for Jacksonville. Who knows? So next game, we've got the Colts versus the Chargers. This one was, I thought it was going to be kind of close like this. Chargers winning it 30-24. Phillip Rivers played really well. I mean, 3 touchdowns and an interception. 333 yards. Although I got to give it to Jacoby Brissett, man. Stepped up big. Big-time playmaker. 21 for 27, 190 yards. Didn't throw for over 200 yards, but he threw 2 touchdowns that made it pretty clutch. And he kept the Colts in the game. Yes, he was. If that one, what was it? I can't remember what pass he threw, but he threw one over the middle and it got dropped. He would have had over the 200-yard mark. And it could have also been another touchdown because it was in the red zone at that point, or it was going into the red zone at that point. So he could have easily won the game for the Colts, and then Colts fans are like, Andrew Luck who? It shows he knows the system. Frank Wright trusts him to throw the ball. Obviously, Marlon Mack had a huge game, 174 yards on a touchdown, I think it was, or something like that. He went off. But Colts look like they could still compete. Are they going to win the division? I don't think so. I think Titans and Texans right now are probably the front runners, no doubt, because of the record, obviously. Tennessee's the front runner right now because of the record. But I think those two are really going to come down to. But Colts could be surprises. Who knows? Never know. Next, we've got Seattle and Cincinnati. All I'm going to say for this one, Andy Dalton right now leads the league in passing yards. And he looked, hey, I will say this. He didn't look terrible. He didn't yet, yes. Gotta say, though, he looked good without A.J. Green having to be his go-to guy. He did a good job without A.J. Green, his go-to guy. So props to him for being able to do that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's see what happens throughout the rest of the season. But, hey, Andy Dalton right now looks like Andy Clutch, Never doubt an Andrew, man. They can always come through every now and then. Shut up. All right. Next, we've got Dallas versus New York. Dallas Cowboys. Oh, not next. Yeah, hold on. Pay Dak Prescott. Why'd you pay the running back? Pay the quarterback. Come on. 405 yards, 4 touchdowns. I know it's just the Giants. I get it. But still, he performs like that. He could have easily had some balls that could have been intercepted, and he's still found a way to fit it in there. Giants, meanwhile, I got to give it Evan Ingram. Even though, yes, he was on my fantasy team, I got to say, man, looks like he's going to be one of the top tight ends in the NFL, I think. Really do. But, yeah, Cowboys right now look like they're steamrolling right now. So, yeah, I'll give it to them. All right, next game. Oh, boy, this was ugly. And by the way, you made a mistake not starting Murray, it looked like. Yeah. And look, this game was ugly for 3 quarters. Kyler Murray played really well in the 4th quarter. Didn't even look like the same game. I would have given it to the Lions. Obviously, if you saw the game, obviously Matt Stafford had another fantastic game, 3 touchdowns, over 350 yards. I think he threw 4. But I got to give it to T.J. Hawkinson, man. The rookie tight end really came in with a bang, man. 6 catches, 131 yards, and a touchdown. I think he is new Gronk. I really do. And he's on the wrong team. The Patriots should have traded up for this kid if they really wanted to replace him. But I mean, clearly they don't need him. It shows. But honestly, the Lions, man, this kid looks like he's going to be the right fit. Now, I hope he's not going to be the main target, because if that's the case, then Stafford's going to be kind of limited, because he's a big arm quarterback, and Hawkinson, he can run some really big routes, but he doesn't run like the giant post routes. So, but in the end, this game ended up in a tie. This is the 3rd year in a row we've had a tie in week 1. Again, boring game for the first 3 quarters. Last quarter, really interesting to see. Props to Kyler Murray and props to T.J. Hawkinson, the rookies. Next game. We just keep getting worse and worse, man. San Francisco and Tampa Bay. This game, Tom, I want to ask you, and I'll repeat it. Do you think that this was the worst game of the week? So you say it's the best game of the week then? Defensively, yeah. This game was. Yeah, true. Yeah, this game was. I didn't even know where to go with this in terms of so I just lumped the whole San Francisco defense together. They had 59 total tackles, 3 sacks, 6 tackles for a loss. Obviously, like you heard from Tom, they had 3 interceptions and 2 defensive touchdowns, so they really helped him out fantasy-wise because he has that defense. And then Tampa Bay-wise, I wasn't going to pick Jameis Winston. He threw 3 picks, and they were all bad. They were all huge and bad, and so I went with Vernon Hargreaves, who had the other pick 6. There were 3 pick 6 in this game. Winston threw 2, and then obviously, what's his face threw the other one. So, yeah, I didn't know who to pick for that one. So, what? Yeah, Jimmy G. Thank you. Yeah, Jimmy Garoppolo threw another pick 6 to Vernon Hargreaves. So, it was an ugly game. I think it was the worst game of the week by far. Next, oh boy, because it was an onslaught. This was a murder. This was a decimation. Some say he's still. Yeah, if you guys didn't see this game, it was ugly for Pittsburgh. This is. Oh no, I tweeted it. I posted it on Facebook. Yeah, this thing was ugly for Pittsburgh. They had a moment where the center didn't even snap the ball, and the entire offensive line was offsides. The only guy I could put up there was Boswell, who kicked 3 points. That was my guy for the Steelers. On the other side of this, Tom Brady, he's going backwards. He's got Benjamin Button disease. He's getting better. He's aging like fine wine. He's getting better as he's getting older. Exactly, yeah. It's something about that Boston area, man. What's in the water there? Jeez, it's yeah, for real. Apparently, I can reverse aging if I go there. But yeah, he 341 yards, 3 touchdowns, and we're doing this without Antonio Brown, mind you. If he does actually come in and perform the way that we believe he will, like he did if he can do what he did in Pittsburgh, in New England, they're overwhelming favorites already. They're gonna probably dominate the world. What? It's possible, man. Right now they're yeah. After 10? I mean, if anybody's going to win 10 Super Bowls, it's probably going to be this Patriots team right now. After Brady? Oh, man. That's the thing, is that it's going to be open contest at this point because, well, here's the thing. If the Chiefs, I will say this, if the Chiefs can keep up this level of play after Brady retires, they might be able to come close. But to say they can win 10, I think they can win 4. I think he's going to retire before. I think they can win 4, but I think he's only going to win like 2 or even 3 of those Super Bowls. But I think they can. I think once he retires, I think it's open season for Chiefs. But even then, you've got the Rams, who we've seen they can play, and if they put it all together for the Super Bowl and they come to play, actually, they could. This could be like one of those things where all of a sudden we're looking at it like when it was Cleveland versus Golden State, and we go, oh, here we go again. You know, it's that whole thing. Or Alabama versus Clemson. You know, we're just constantly staring at that stuff. Yeah. I hope it gets to that point. But yeah, this was a blowout. The Patriots are on the right record. Enough said about those guys. And finally, the last. What's up? I still think that they can win the division, but I think now they've proven that it's going to be tough. If this is the way they're going to play against the best play teams, it's going to be tough. Over Baltimore. I think they can beat Baltimore, but this is the first game. Yes. So Tom's saying that he's saying Baltimore wins the division with Cleveland probably getting in second, maybe even getting a wild card berth. But I look, it's the first game of the season. This was not pretty. This does not bode well. This could become an ugly match. All right, in the last 2 games, what's up? Yeah, you're right. They did tie last year. So in the last 2 games from one Monday night, we've got New Orleans winning it 30-28 against Houston. Houston got to protect Deshaun Watson. You've got to protect Deshaun Watson. He was hit 6 times. He was sacked 6 times. You got Laremy Tunsil, and yet he still whiffed on blocks. Yeah, well, hey, you got rid of him at the wrong time, I think. You should have kept him, started him, and then traded for Baker Mayfield afterwards. Yeah. Wait, when did he get hurt? What if he got... Yeah, no, that's the biggest thing is that offensive line is atrocious. I mean, even with Laremy Tunsil, again, he whiffed on blocks. That whole offensive line seemed to just let the Saints just get to him. And you cannot let your quarterback get hit that much. He's lucky he was able to get rid of the ball sometimes. He's very lucky. And obviously, Drew Brees did what he did best. He led the team down the field. He made some really good throws. What's up? Oh, my bad. Yeah, that's supposed to be Drew Brees, by the way. The only quarterback for the Saints, remember that. But that last drive was fantastic. Will Lutz hit that great field goal. I mean, wow. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that was great. Yeah, there were fans dressed up as refs throwing flags. So beautiful stuff by the New Orleans fans. They always know how to come and have some fun, man. They are. The New Orleans has some of the best. No, I have. It's not for New Orleans, not for Mardi Gras and stuff like that, but I've been there before. Yeah. No, yeah, I have. Yeah. Yeah. Right, yeah. Because, hey, Louisiana, dude, I've been there. I've been from Baton Rouge to New Orleans. You will see nothing but football fields. If you ever make that trip, which at some point, we definitely will at some point down the line, you will see nothing but football fields down the line on that road because everybody plays football there. You are a god there for the whole. Yes, he changed. Yes, during the music festival, Tom got a TV changed, and everybody cheered him on for that. So he is a god there in a sense in New Orleans, which with the many other gods. But no, great game. And by the way, shout out to Will Lutz, who's a local here. Hats off to you, man, for hitting the field goal, baby. And then the final game, of course, Oakland beating the Broncos 24-16. The what? I believe so. I don't remember. I gotta give it to Oakland, man. They played really well. No Antonio Brown, obviously that was the biggest story of the day. Tyrell Williams played really well. He looked good. He looked really good. And Josh Jacobs, man, that kid, there's a reason they took him in the first round. He didn't say a word on Hard Knocks. They didn't give him any time on Hard Knocks. He doesn't say a word to the media. And to me, he ended up being player of the game. I know a lot of people said, well, Derek Carr played well. Nah, man, this kid played extremely well. He ran for 85 yards, had 2 touchdowns. He also caught 1 pass for 28 yards, and it was a great run. He broke like 3 tackles. He looked very good. Looked very good. Yes, I think that was the Bears pick. Yeah, I would too. Hey, look, I like Josh Jacobs. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good running back, but I'll take Khalil Mack too any day. And plus, by the way, like I said, David Montgomery and Josh Jacobs, I think they're the 2 best running backs in that draft class. Yeah. Exactly. We did the same thing. Like when you took Josh Jacobs, we were all just watching Bears highlights, baby. So hey. But no, this yeah, I don't think Oakland's going to do well either. I think it's going to be a 5-11 year. But although I will say this, I think Derek Carr has a really good year, and I think that's going to piss off John Gruden. And then I think Josh Jacobs is probably going to – he's at least going to hit 900 or 1,000 yards rushing, I think. I really – you think – so what, 3-13 you're saying? Or 2-14? Okay. I honestly, I think because of the way that Derek Carr plays, I think he'll save a few more games. I don't think they're going to have a winning record, but I think he's going to have a really good year, and I think that's going to be where John Gruden goes, oh, man, I gotta play him at quarterback now. Now what am I going to do? I can't trade him. Can't do nothing with him. God, can't win with him, though. It's all right. I'll just trade him to Jacksonville. Jacksonville's now 10-6. I'm just going to draft Tua Tagovailoa. Oh, man, he threw 5 interceptions. Here we go again. And that's going to be the end of John Gruden probably at that point. Yeah. Yeah, so obviously, guys, we're going to do next Saturday we'll do another one where we do the previews and we talk about what the teams are going to do and stuff like that for Saturday. So I hope you guys are going to be ready for that one. But, yeah, this first week was mixed. I will say overall, I thought there were some good moments, and I thought there were certainly some ugly games. But overall, some really fun moments, some really fun, interesting stuff. So if I had to rate it, I would say B-. I'll give it a B- for a first week. So yeah, but you guys can comment down below. Let us know what you guys think about this stuff. And obviously, we were going to get into a fan question, but I think we're going to save this one right now because we got to get out of here. And I'm getting really hot and musty up here, and sweating. But this has been fun. This has been great to kind of talk about some football, you guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. And by the way, I know being September 11th, I want to say really quickly to all the vets out there, all the firefighters, all the people out there that obviously were involved with September 11th, those who gave their lives, and to all the people who were affected by it and are still affected by it, which, by the way, I believe Congress, we talked about this on the show, I think it was, but Congress finally passing that bill to help out all the veterans that were to continue to, excuse me. Yes, to not get rid of it. So, but please pass that bill. These people, these heroes need help. They need our help. They need your help. They need everybody's help. And we have to do something because they deserve it for what they did on that day in helping these people during a horrific event. It's not right what's being done to them, and they deserve every opportunity to be helped. Yeah, exactly. I mean, they deserve the chance to be able to have what normal lives they can again. And honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, though, here at X-Mom Sports, we give you our love and our prayers and everything to everybody who is affected in some way, shape, or form by September 11th, 2001. And we say thank you to everybody, all the heroes out there who helped and everything. So we just want to make sure to say that to everybody out there, and we will also tweet it out. We will do our Instagram post on it as well. But thank you all so much for watching. This has been a very fun Wednesday, and we will see you guys on Saturday where, unfortunately, Tom will not be here and Tyler will not be here again. But we will hopefully have Jake, and who knows, we may even have a surprise guest possibly pop in. We'll just have to wait and see on that one. But anyways, we'll see you guys Saturday, and as always, ladies and gentlemen, much love and peace out, Boom Crew.